It's almost like putting on mental, emotional, and physical armor. Like that's what a morning routine is.
That's why I decided to try out Jay Shetty's morning routine. Now if you are in a rush and all you want is a summary of Jay's routine, here it is. Jay wakes up at 6 am, begins his day with a positive affirmation, no phone for first 2 hours, then mindful brushing, his daily meditation which contains his breathwork, visualization technique and mantra chanting. Then he spends 2-3 minutes on his journal, reviewing his intention, attention and gratitude. Then he do some kind of exercise which he say should be less about body and more about his feelings. Now if you stay with me, let's see how much time this whole process takes, what are the major problems we are going to face and how we can tackle it while practicing this. Because Jay is head of his business endeavor, he has a team and all, but that's not the case for most of us, right? Now waking up at 6 am will be easy if you go to bed early. And I personally don't need 8 hours of sleep unless I do some intense physical task. So the technique I use to make sure that I go to bed early is that I set an alarm at 9:30 pm. It reminds me that the day is going to end. So I slowly start my bedtime routine, withdraw from my phone, go to bed, maybe read some books on my Kindle and fall asleep. Now even after setting alarm at 9:30 pm, if you go to bed at 11, still you get 7 hours of sleep. Now when you wake up at 6 am, especially at the beginning, you will be doing this and this. So wash your face with some cold water. Cold water will do its magic. Then you can do your mindful brushing. As Jay says, one side, one tooth and one brush at a time. Breathwork, visualization and mantra chanting. Well, Jay have included each of them for a particular purpose. So if I have an alternative which serve the same purpose, I can do that, right? Whereas breathwork helps him calming his mind and grounding his body, like every meditation does. And I am practicing a different style of meditation. And visualization helps Jay to prepare himself for his meetings and events psychologically and mentally. Where I have this habit of writing my major task for my next day before bed. So at morning I go through them and visualize and feel me doing each of it. And mantra chanting is done to remind Jay his purpose. And I have written my goals, my purpose at a different section of my journal. And every morning I go through them and act like an affirmation, which help me to steer towards my goal and keep my soul on the right track and right intention. Now the next thing was a deal breaker. It was the practice of gratitude. I was introduced to this concept years before, but personally I felt it like a useless concept, like telling yourself that you are grateful for this air you breathe, you are grateful for this mother earth. I couldn't understand this concept, and at last Jay Shetty himself taught me, and I have already made a different video about that. So what Jay does is, he writes daily 3 things that he is grateful for, and when I am doing this, I have this different section in my journal for gratitude, and instead of a new point every day, I go through what I have written before and read and feel it, and I find it more effective. It's not about writing, it's more about feeling grateful. His exercises are super long. He used to go to gym and do some boxing, and nowadays he drives to a nearest tennis court and play tennis. It is a long morning routine. And secondly, I don't like to work out at morning. Nope, I like to do my exercise at evening, feeling that pain and muscle tension and go to bed like that. But Jay gives us a small exception, a small loophole here.
The gym has always been less about how I look and more about how I feel.
Exercise less about body and more about feelings. So with the help of my father and brothers, I started doing Surya Namaskar or Sun Salutation, which not only do burn some calories but also improve my cardiovascular conditioning, prevent fatigue, and best of all make my mind calm and relaxed, along with many other physical and mental benefits. And finally, he ends his morning routine with a healthy breakfast. Yeah, right for our gut. I have this sharp canine, maybe I'm a bone carnivorous. And finally, it's not about doing this routine exactly like this. You can try to implement at least one habit of this routine at a time and start our day like a monk do. And I genuinely hope you start doing it with me. Anyway, stay blessed, stay blessed.